I'm not comfortable talking to you about what I'm about to talk to you about, but it needs to be said. There is a lawsuit, Jane Doe's versus Girls Do Porn. 22 young women, college age women, brought down a porn empire in California. And I need to explain this. And I'm going to read to you from Ars Technica. I was reading the website this morning, and this story is horrific. But you need to know about the story, particularly if you got a daughter. You need to know. When she flew to San Diego in October of 2013 with her friend who found a modeling ad on Craigslist, Jane Doe 7 believed she would be paid $2,000 to do a nude photo shoot, and that photo shoot would only be released in Australia. Instead, she found a much different reality. Jane Doe 7 ended up filming a porn video under duress in a hotel room where furniture blocked the door, preventing her from leaving. First, Jane Doe 7 found out the photo shoot was actually a video shoot only when she was picked up at the airport by Matthew Wolf, a videographer working for the porn website Girls Do Porn. Doe didn't know that last fact either. She asked at least 20 times where the video would air before agreeing to do it. Both Wolf and porn actor Andre Garcia assured her the video would not go online, but it would instead be released on DVD in Australia. It was a believable lie given Wolf's New Zealand accent and the duo's consistency in telling the same story. Once Doe agreed to film the video, she was rushed through signing a contract and told we needed to get this done. Wolf and Garcia soon put furniture in front of the hotel room door during filming. Jane Doe 7 said she couldn't leave and was scared. I was being coached and I felt like I had to do it, she said during trial. It was so hard she bled. She locked herself in the bathroom while Wolf and Garcia tried to coax her out. Eventually, she finished the shoot and took a shower. But soon after the incident, she was harassed at work. Her video had been posted online. While she only looked at it on one website, others told her the video was all over the internet. She was too afraid to Google it, she said. She was far from the only woman duped into filming porn for the subscription website Girls Do Porn. Her experience ultimately led to a San Diego Superior courtroom where, one by one, over the course of several months, 22 millennial women answered affirmatively when attorneys for Girls Do Porn asked them if they'd ever viewed porn online. Yet in this fraud trial, the women all claimed they believed the videos they shot, which were published among the library of hundreds of porn flicks, viewed collectively over 1 billion times, would never get posted online. How could millennial women living in an age where porn is almost exclusively viewed online ever believe their own videos would never get posted to the internet? To start, it takes a thought-out criminal scheme where the perpetrators were dedicated to leaving no paper trail. But Girls Do Porn's successful manipulation was possible because large swaths of society still label women who participate in sex work as cultural pariahs. The Girls Do Porn operators knew this, and they wagered that the shame the girls felt over appearing in pornography would likely ensure that they would never take the site's management to task for the fraud. But the girls stood up for themselves. Now a number of the men involved are off to jail. I raised this issue because this is increasingly common, and I don't know that most people are aware of it. And I don't know that most of them think it would ever happen to their kid. And what I am learning more and more is that the people who think it would never happen to their kid are usually the ones who find out it's their kid involved. Because the parents never bother to talk to their kid about it. They think, well, my kid's smart enough not to do something like this. And there was a story I was told. So I did an interview with a woman who had been the victim of human trafficking by her parents. And she and the organization she works with now rescue girls. And they were talking about a situation in Denver. 2 girls went to the Delta Airlines counter in the Denver International Airport. They were high school seniors, and they had won a modeling competition on Facebook in New York City. Now, Denver is a hub for United. It's hard to get around about the country from Denver to anywhere on Delta because it's not a hub for Delta. There are flights from Denver to all parts of the globe on United, but not Delta. But these girls had managed to get on a Delta flight to take them to New York City for this modeling competition, and it was the Delta ticket counter agent who realized that it was a one-way ticket. The girls didn't realize that it was a one-way ticket. And so the Delta agent started asking some questions, and it turns out the girls' parents really didn't know. They were 18, so it really didn't matter. They were just going to sneak off to the weekend for the modeling shoot and come back. And they didn't realize that they had one-way tickets. And the conversation changed pretty dramatically when the agent pointed it out to them. And so authorities were called while the girls stood there at the ticket counter. And New York authorities were notified, and they went to the hotel where the girls were supposed to be. By the time the New York authorities had gotten there, it was past the time the plane should have landed. The girls weren't on the plane, and the hotel room had been emptied. The girls were about to be kidnapped and put into a human trafficking system that some people deny happens. One of the problematic areas that's going on right now is that there are some progressive activists as well who believe that we need to overcome the stigma of pornography, and sometimes you get the argument made that if people overcome their stigma and get comfortable with porn, then when bad things are happening in porn, people will be more comfortable coming forward. I don't think the answer is to define deviancy down and to normalize pornography. But it's a real problem, and I got to tell you that study after study after study after study after study shows that the parents who talk to their kids about these sorts of issues and talk to them about these stories, they're the ones whose kids don't wind up in these situations. It's the parents who think that it'll never happen to my kid that it happens. In these situations, it was college-age girls who found modeling opportunities on Craigslist. They do this online, Craigslist, Facebook, and ads on YouTube that they stumble across. Jane Doe number 1 in this case had completed her first year at California Western School of Law in San Diego when she filmed 3 videos. She questioned how she could have been duped. She had taken the contracts course. The woman replied that she didn't recall seeing the contract at issue. When her videos were posted online at a website called The Dirty, she asked them to take it down, believing its publishing was revenge porn. But the website's attorney posted a public response refusing to take the video down, arguing she'd agreed to do it. Jane Doe 1 took matters into her own hands. She retained an attorney. She then messaged other women doxxed on a website called Porn WikiLeaks as girls do porn models and to see if they had been duped. She began organizing. The women tried to confirm in writing what was being discussed in phone calls. The videos would only be distributed in Australia. They refused, the website then refused to confirm it. The website tried to retaliate against them. Thankfully, they had a judge who was very sympathetic to the girls. And people are now being carted off to jail because of it. Girls Do Porn owner Michael Pratt is on the run and on the FBI's most wanted list. The videographer Matthew Wolf is in jail awaiting custody. The actor Andre Garcia is going to be sentenced on April 23rd by a federal court judge. The videographer for the website is also going to be sentenced in April. The website right now is being sued for $2 million in damages for each girl and video as a human trafficking venture, which it was. These girls were willing to stand up and be heard and fight. Education really, really matters. I wish I had a more pleasant way to talk about this, y'all. It's not a super entertaining exciting thing to talk about. But man, nobody talks about this stuff. Nobody wants to talk about it. It could be your kid. It could be mine. You got to talk to your kids about this stuff. That's why I got to talk to you about it. Human trafficking is a big deal, and it's amazing the amount of intellectual capital being spent by some people, particularly proponents of the porn industry, say it's not really a big deal. It's overplayed. It's overstated. It's all political. It's moral outraged about nothing. Here's another reminder. It is real, and the best way to combat it is to educate your kids.